Hello, my name is Shane Hegarty, and today I will be doing a review on the web series known as Epithet Erased. First, let us start with an overview. Epithet Erased is a web cartoon created by Brendan Blabber, or Jello Apocalypse, that aired on Verve on the 7th of November 2019, and on YouTube on the 22nd of November 2019. In this review, I shall be giving my personal opinions on the show, as well as analysing certain parts of it. Let's start with the history. Epithet Erased is an interesting history, starting out as an adaptation of a tabletop campaign called Anime Campaign. I am not joking, that was the name they decided on. The campaign was made with a small group of friends, and was aired on Twitch between 2016 and 2018, before being deleted by the creators' request in order to prevent spoiling the new web series. As all tabletop campaigns, they had a system in place, called the Epithet system. I'll let the show explain the system.
Epithets. Rare powers. Some people got 'em, some people don't. Do you know what it's called? And if you have an epithet, you're inscribed. Each inscribed person has a unique word attached to their soul that lets them do stuff.
These powers can be anything from being able to control time, or being able to eat stuff, press your belly button, and launch a random attack. I am not kidding, that is an actual power in the series. So now that you know a brief history of the show, let's talk about characters. There are 8 characters you should know about. Let's go in order of appearance. Molly is a 12-year-old girl who works in her father's toy shop. Well, she does something, I guess. Her father's overall forgetfulness kinda kicks off a chain of events as he forgets Molly after chaperoning her class to a trip to the museum. Dad of the year, everybody! She's very easy to allow others to exploit her for their own gain, such as letting her father make her run this toy store. Seriously, isn't this child labor? Over the course of the series, she starts to realize that maybe she shouldn't think so lowly of herself, and maybe, just maybe, she shouldn't give her away her power because someone might need it. Giovanni is a bad guy who is secretly a good guy. He starts looking like the series antagonist until he's been episode 1. He then teams up with Molly and becomes a better father figure than her own father, which isn't saying much. Giovanni is one of the best characters in the series, having some of the best jokes and some actual touching moments with Molly, unlike her father.
Fight! He's too strong! There's no way we can beat him!
That doesn't matter, Bear Trap. You're my minion, and that means I have to protect you. If you won't fight for yourself, then I'll do it for you.
Mera and Indus are a duo of characters, with Mera being the brains and offense of the team, and Indus being the defense, because
Epithet is barrier! And it allows me to make barriers!
these two are our antagonists for the first 4 episodes, as Mera wants to steal a powerful artifact in the museum, and Indus is her bodyguard. Next we have Sylvie, otherwise known as
Dr. Sylvester Ashling.
Sylvie is basically the weakest character in the series. He's still a good character, but he can get annoying at times due to him thinking he's pretty strong. This isn't that accurate, as he loses basically every fight he's been in so far, being the equivalent to Weiss from Ruby. Percy is one of the characters who primarily features in the second half of the season's episodes, otherwise known as the Redwood Monarch. Percy is a police officer who is very much defined by her by-the-book personality and obliviousness to social cues. However, Percy still interacts very well with the rest of the cast despite her flaws, and proves that the law always wins. Ramsey is a con man who ends up teaming up with Percy because he's got a bounty on his head. Ramsey is one of the show's best characters by far, as he is brimming with personality. Whether he be pointing out the lack of logic in the universe, or just being a smug little rat bastard, he is the reason why Redwood Run becomes the better arc in my honest opinion.
Ramsey grabs a pack of crayons from his pocket and holds them up menacingly. Hey, don't move!
I got crayons!
Finally, we have Zora, who by all accounts has the least amount of screen time, but when she does, it shows you why you should not mess with her. Zora is after a bounty on Ramsey, as well as the necklace. She is not only one of the most powerful epithets in the show, but also the skill to back it up. Her one weakness is her lack of perception. She takes her opponents not too seriously, and that often leads to her underestimating them and, well, losing in her one fight.
Not if you're dead! Oh.
That will kill us!
Overall, the characters are one of the reasons this show is so great. Now let's get on to the story. The story of Epithet Erased is simple. The show revolves around a bunch of different people wanting a necklace called the Arson Amulet, which has the power to steal over people's powers. The first arc focuses mainly on Molly as she inadvertently gets caught up in the first act to steal from the museum. The first arc plays out well with good pacing, great comedy. However, there are a few problems with it. One complaint I have is that two halves of different episodes revolve around a fight between Molly and Giovanni versus Sylvie. As much as the visuals are great within these segments, the fight goes on for a little too long, making it stand out less. The second arc, however, is hands down one of the funniest things I've seen. I will not spoil any jokes other than one or two, but trust me, the second half has some of the best jokes I've ever heard. My final thoughts on Epithet Erased is, despite the complaints people give it, I believe this show to be one of the best recent productions made on the internet animation scene. Its humor is great, the characters are excellent, and although some people can find the animation jarring, it's still an enjoyable watch. I'll give Epithet Erased an 8 out of 10.